Hoe zou je omschrijven Amerikaanse cultuur?
Lui. Sorry.
He thinks we're lazy.
Burgers, of course.
Yeah, we have a lot of burgers.
Ze zijn vreselijk overdreven. Oh, hello! How are you?
I disagree. I'm not fake nice.
As an American that's been living in the Netherlands for the past 3 years, I've become very familiar with the concept of Dutch directness. So that's why I was really curious to ask Dutch people a few questions regarding their views of America and Americans, and take that back to the US to let Americans see and get their reaction. Starting with question number 1. What comes to mind when you think of America or American culture?
Onbeschoft, vettig eten, lui. Sorry. Sorry.
En wat doen jullie?
Omdat jullie, kijk, hier fietsen, je doet veel sporten, Welen is alles echt op verre afstand, dus je moet vaak met de auto dingen, ook bijvoorbeeld bij McDonald's worden porties grotere maaltijden aangeleverd, dus snap je?
Oh, ik vind Amerika echt geweldig. Ik hou van Amerika. En het gedeelte waar mijn zus een vakantiehuis heeft, dat is in de Pocono's. De beren lopen daar in de tuin. Het is echt gigantisch.
Like burgers, of course. A lot of wealth, but also a lot of poor people. A lot of Mexicans. Ze zijn heel open, voor wat ik weet. Wel natuurlijk de eten en drinken. Dat is natuurlijk wel, eigenlijk sowieso alles wel een beetje over de top natuurlijk in Amerika. Dat is wel anders dan in Nederland. Die zijn we iets nuchterder.
Amerikaanse cultuur. Sowieso vind ik het heel erg bijzonder. Ze zijn heel positief. Amerikanen zijn super positief. En je moet er overal voor gaan. En dat vind ik echt veel fijner dan de Nederlandse cultuur. Want ik hou heel erg van Nederland, want ik ben zelf ook Nederlander. Maar Nederlanders zijn altijd een beetje negatief. En ja, in Amerika moet je gewoon altijd ervoor gaan. En die positiviteit is echt super aanstekelijk.
What is your reaction to what they had to say?
I mean, I would say that's probably more of a depiction of how, you know, news and media and everything can probably make America seem like. But in reality, the way I look at it, people here just do whatever they want. People can express themselves.
It's very interesting. I feel like I've met people who have all of those opinions. When I was in the Netherlands, I did find a little bit of a more harsh culture, I think. That the Dutch people are a little bit more blunt than I think Americans might be. Yeah, it's interesting with the kind of negative reactions about like the fast food culture is interesting because I think there are certain parts of America that maybe that is more of a stereotype, but also like living in LA for a long time, I find that like gym culture is so big here. So it's just like, it's such a big country that I think there are so many different ways that Americans can be portrayed.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, they're not wrong about the food. Because like if you go like anywhere down south and stuff like that, if you ask for a small, you're not getting a small.
Yeah, we have a lot of burgers.
I think a lot of the stuff that they were saying was kind of true because here in America, a lot of things are about convenience. And it's like we have a lot of like resources, but it's like for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's bigger, better, convenient, but at the same time, it's like, all right, this is for me and people want to make money. So it's like, I'm going to give the consumer what they want. I'm going to make the money for myself. So it's kind of like double-sided, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was mostly positive, which was nice. I thought the first part was funny about how people are lazy, like, because it's definitely true. We have to drive more places, and I wish it was more like the Netherlands where I could bike more places and have excuses to exercise. Everything is like pretty big in America because it's like go for the dream. Like you can achieve anything you want here.
Yeah.
I think they hit it pretty well on the head. Like everything is over the top. Food is big.
There wasn't a middle. It was either excessive and rich or poor. I think there are more in the middle.
Okay. Next I asked, how would you describe an American?
Spontaan, heel uitbundig, avontuurlijk, maar ook weer lui. Sorry.
Wat ik vind is dat ze zijn vreselijk overdreven. Van, oh hello, how are you? And everything. En wat ik heel apart vind, als Amerikaanse mensen de telefoon beantwoorden of ze bellen je op, dan zeggen ze geen gedag. Het is gewoon van, hebben wij morgen een afspraak om 8:00? Ja? Bam. Dat was het. Echt belachelijk. Niet toedeloe of doei of hallo of whatever. Helemaal niks.
I don't have anything against them, but I don't think they're like the most well-behaved or social people. But the ones I do meet are kind, so I don't have anything against them. Ja, de Amerikaanse mensen die ik tot nu toe heb ontmoet, top eigenlijk. Natuurlijk ook wel een paar mindere bij, maar dat is meestal gewoon Amsterdam natuurlijk. Die denken het meest dat ze van alles kunnen maken, omdat we in Amsterdam natuurlijk allemaal van die gekkies rondlopen. Maar verder heb ik weinig problemen met Amerikanen.
Nou, dat is natuurlijk een enorme verscheidenheid aan Amerikaanse mensen.
Ja.
Je kan niet zeggen er is één Amerikaan.
Ja.
Iedereen is zo verschrikkelijk anders. Dat heeft natuurlijk te maken met de grootte van het land. Ik bedoel, midden in het land zijn mensen weer heel anders dan the outskirts of the country, of course. And in the metropolitan areas.
That first dude was right.
Yeah.
Very opportunistic. We always want to do everything, but we don't do shit.
Yeah, we are like really like bubbly, but it's like I feel like a lot facade sometimes.
That's actually interesting because like living in the Netherlands, I get that comment all the time from people saying like, "Oh, Americans are so like fake nice." But growing up, I felt like it was genuine. It's just like, you ask people, "Hey, how are you?"
Right.
But like kind of from the outside, I could kind of see what people were saying. So what do you think? Like, do you think it's fake nice or?
It's like polite. I don't know.
Polite,
you
right?
know?
Yeah. Like respect, I guess you could say.
I mean, yeah, you greet people, you say hi, like that's just like a natural thing.
Yeah.
The only place I think you're not gonna get that is probably like up in New York or something like that. Like I can come up here and probably say what's up to somebody and like they'll be cool.
Yeah.
Up in New York, you say hi to anybody, straight walking.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like that's like the only real place or something like that you're gonna get that at.
I think I've found that when I've been traveling and I see other Americans, I think that we do tend to be pretty boisterous and sometimes can get a little bit out of touch with the culture going on around us and just like in our own heads we're like, we're here and wherever and like we're having fun, so we're gonna be loud, and I do think that's part of kind of a general American culture, like being chatty and mostly very friendly. In the Netherlands, it's interesting because I think people are nice, but it's just not as like exuberant.
I'll start with the last one, the diversity. I think we are really diverse. However, I don't think we try hard enough to get to know each other in their diversity. We tend to stick with our own, unfortunately.
I agree with you on that. I feel like a lot of times we just put people in bubbles, and then once you're identified in a certain bubble, it's like, okay, you stay on that side, I stay on this
I'll
side.
be friendly to you, with you, around you, but I'm not going to intermix.
Yeah.
Definitely, there's not being able to put people here in one bucket, depending on where you are in the country. In the big city, it is very diverse. But yeah, I think the diversity in this country is part of what it makes it great.
I'm also curious to hear your guys' opinion on what the one lady said about Americans being super exaggerated.
I disagree in some ways. I'm not fake nice. If I know you, I'm going to be like, oh, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you.
Yeah.
If it's someone new, we met a new family last night. You did your niceties and then got to know them.
Yeah.
I'm a hugger. A lot of people are like, oh, and then people said, I saw your arms go up, so I don't think it's fake. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I definitely think people wear a mask here. You walk around and you wear different types of masks. You might see somebody be like, hey, and then, I hate their guts. When you turn it, people act kind of fake sometimes.
Yeah. Lastly, I asked, would you move to the US? Why yes or why no?
Ja, ik heb eerlijk gezegd, het hele land, wat er allemaal gebeurt, et cetera, liever niet. Dan ga ik liever voor mijn veiligheid gewoon ten alle tijden. Waarom wel? Ik vind het wel tof. Steden zoals New York, et cetera, vind ik wel echt nice. Plus ik ben zelfs kok. Ik zou er wel een keer ooit willen staan, Madison Square.
Ja.
Dat lijkt me wel tof. Dus ja en nee.
Ja.
Of ik zou willen verhuizen naar Amerika. Nou, niet zolang Biden president is. Maar ook niet omdat ik natuurlijk hier mijn kinderen heb.
I would consider it, but not without knowing where I'm going. There's a lot of different places. Like there's really city areas, also more like country.
Nou, dat niet. Ik denk dat in Nederland alles heel goed is geregeld. Daar heb je natuurlijk bijvoorbeeld de zorg niet helemaal lekker geregeld. Daar betaal je fortuin als je arm breekt. Sowieso over de top is wel, wat ik zei, is wel leuk, maar om daar te wonen, dat lijkt me niks.
Ja, ik heb het al gedaan. Ik bedoel, ik vond het fantastisch daar. Ik heb er lang over gedaan om in New York te aarden. Maar het is me gelukt in de zin van dat ik het uiteindelijk heel erg leuk vond en echt ben van gaan houden. Ja. Maar ik ben heel blij nu weer terug te zijn in in Nederland. Omdat ik hier een gezin heb. En Nederland is veel fijner om te wonen met een gezin. De standaard van leven in Nederland is hoger hier als je niet zoveel geld verdient. In Amerika moet je echt zoveel geld verdienen om daar gewoon oké te kunnen leven met een gezin. Ja. En hier is dat gewoon veel makkelijker.
Yeah, don't move here. It sucks. You need 2 jobs, a side hustle, rich parents, just to be okay.
Wow.
Just to exist in a happy mental state and not be distressed and worried all the time.
And that's the American dream, huh?
American dream.
That's crazy.
I think America is so big and it's over the top in a lot of ways, and it's a cool place to visit, I think, but we're a mess, and I don't think, like, especially the healthcare. When I visited Amsterdam, and I learned a lot about the healthcare system there, and just like it is very organized, like he said, and I think most European countries are very good about things like that, and I want out myself, so I'm like totally on the same page. I think that the U.S. is a mess, especially right now, so I wouldn't want to move here.
I mean, so I have friends friends from my school that are from places internationally. Like I have friends from Georgia, Armenia, and different places.
Okay.
And I don't get into like the politics, like government stuff, but like when I tell them like about like racism here in America, like they don't understand it because they don't have to deal with that in other countries. So when the first guy was talking about like because of his safety and everything, I get it. Like I totally get it, and it's hard to adjust like being here culturally. So I totally understand that. But me personally, you know, like I'm a Christian, like I make Christian hip hop. So everybody to me is equal. Like nobody's higher than the other, nobody's better. Like every race, like we're all equal. So it's like for somebody to be treated somebody differently because of where they're from, because of what they look like, and because of what they do, it's kind of crazy to me.
Sure.
So it's just like you will get that in America, but it's like there's also other positives about like different opportunities that you can get. Of course, different people you meet, because you meet all type of cultures here. It's not just one culture, which is beautiful about it.
Yeah.
So it has its positives and negatives, but I think it kind of depends on that person to make that decision for themselves. So it's fair.
That was a real response, man. That
Yeah,
was a real
I mean-
response. I like that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Give yourself a shout out, bro. Give yourself a shout out, by the way.
Follow me on social medias at Mac4Music, MACK4 Music, no spaces. I do beats. I make beats. I do music. So if you need any beats, hit me up.
Out of curiosity, like, how does that feel to hear someone say, based off of our president, that they wouldn't want to move here because of the president? I'm just curious your reaction to that.
I think it's kind of
surprising.
fickle.
Yeah.
I think they don't maybe understand our whole government system. In the United States, the president can't do anything and everything alone. We have all these checks and balances in place, and maybe is why a lot of things don't get done. You know, I think things get done that the president doesn't want done, but we have checks and balances, and we have to go with everything, not just a person.
Yeah.
One person doesn't rule our country.
It's interesting that politics are even getting into their culture from the U.S. and she's formulating an opinion. Yeah, the media just gives a high level, no matter where, you know, whether you're on the Fox side or CNN, you get just this top layer and not really all the layers of complexity around everything. But
So, there you have it. Personally speaking, I was really happy with the outcome of this experiment. You know, for me, as an American living in the Netherlands, it was really interesting to see the dialogue between my home country and my new country. But overall, what I was really happy about was that while people were discussing the differences in cultures and countries, they did it in a very respectful way, laughing, smiling, and that's what I love to see. You know, despite our differences, we're just people, and that's what I hope to do through this channel, bring people together, no matter where you're from. I'd also like to give a shout out to my friends Luis and Sean, who helped with the filming for this video. Without you guys, this would not have been possible, so thank you so much. And lastly, to you guys, the viewers out there, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot, and I really hope to bring you guys a lot of great content this year in 2024. So, till the next video, peace.